Thank you all for coming here and being a part of the first RenderCon. We're thrilled to have you. So, I wanted to take you through all of the Render Network updates over the past year. It's been a humongous year for the Render Network. I think we've made extraordinary progress on a number of fronts that we'll get into in this talk. But let's just start by describing what the Render Network is. The Render Network's mission is to democratize high-end 3D content creation. We see a future where we're going to go from hundreds of thousands of professional 3D creators to hundreds of millions of people creating 3D content from any device, creating immersive content at next generation resolutions like 8K, 16K, and eventually full holograms. And through the Render Network's decentralized GPU compute infrastructure, we're trying to provide fundamental infrastructure to make that reality. Over the last 5 years, since Render publicly launched, we've done over 750,000 unique 3D rendering jobs with over 40 million frames rendered. And I'll just show you a quick clip of some of the amazing work that's been done on the Render Network. So as you can see, the Render Network's been used by some of the world's leading 3D artists to create just mind-blowing experiences. And over the past year, we've seen this expand even more. At the end of 2024, Annabelle Sikinolfi created a sequence for Anyama's immersive Vegas sphere experience using the Render Network. This is rendering at ultra-high resolutions, creating an experience that I think broke the internet at the end of last year. Pudgy Penguins, the sort of preeminent Web3 collection, uses the Render Network for all of its 3D production today, including trailers for their metaverse Pudgy World and all of their launches, including the Pengu token. Last year, the Render Network also powered 4 stunning 16K immersive experiences in partnership with our tech house, done by Annabelle, Blake Catherine, David Aryu, and a team of artists, Taehoon Park, Woo-sung Kang, and Griyoon Kim. Ricky from our tech house will be describing those experiences later today. The Render Network has also accelerated its growth substantially over the last year. We've grown over 3x in usage between 2023 and 2024. And growth on the user side is also mirrored by growth on the development side. In the past 12 months, there have been over 5,000 Git commits, and development is just accelerating. So let's talk about where things are going, what has happened, and what the workflow of the future is that the Render Network is going to be powering. Over the last year, we've done an enormous amount of work to integrate native Cinema 4D file support, enabling artists to upload scenes to the render network directly from Cinema 4D without having to export to interchange formats, dramatically improving artists' workflows, removing some really key friction. That integration has also allowed us to integrate Redshift, the second leading GPU render engine on the render network, with Redshift supported on the render network and with Octane Render supported on the render network. The two leading GPU rendering pipelines for motion graphics are fully supported by the render network, enabling artists to mix and match between render engines depending on their project's look and style in one interface with access to render's compute at the push of a button. We have recently just made support for Blender's cycles, Blender's native GPU renderer, available on the render network, and that brings high performance, decentralized GPU rendering to millions of artists in the Blender ecosystem. And we're really excited to see what people create on the network, whether it's generative 3D collections or Web3 experiences done in Blender. Like Cinema 4D, we are also offering native blend file support on the render network in beta, and that enables artists to upload files directly to render from Blender without having to do interchange formats that introduce a lot of friction for artists. And Arnold is next, when we are bringing the leading GPU render engine for advanced visual effects to the render network. And with that, we will be supporting all of the major production GPU renderers in the industry. This is all done through the Render Network API that has made it possible for us to support an expanding set of tool sets. And with the Render API, you can customize your workflow as an artist, and you can do anything from automating many parts of your production process, whether it's uploading scenes or downloading scenes or job queuing. It essentially allows you to make your rendering workflow programmable, and that allows you to do types of projects that are difficult at human scale. Zen Blocks is a really good example of this. Outside on the screens, you'll see an experience by MHX, Zen Blocks, and what he's done is created a master scene and then has programmed OCS file uploads that allow him to do many different generative versions of the same scene. And through the Render API, we're also supporting all of the major 3D image generators, text to image, text to video, and eventually video to video, which Spencer will be discussing in this next section on the major workflow improvements have been added to the render network.
Hello, everyone. So as Phil was saying, we have so many different workflow improvements, being implemented, whether they're feature implementations or just new AI implementations. So let's go through some of those. Differential upload, and that's one of the biggest features that we have lately, and it's available now for people to really work smarter. And why is that smarter? Because if you have high iterations with these more robust 3D files, you're going to have all of these large assets, and the more robust 3D becomes, the higher these file sizes become. So with differential uploading, you don't have to worry about uploading the large, massive file sizes anymore. You just have to upload what's new, the different assets within your scene. So that right there is a game changer for sure. And here's a quick video just to demonstrate. You can have different iterations of the same file. Yeah, sound was loud. Different iterations of the same file, and you're really uploading just minimal amounts of data back to the render network. The Download Manager app is a great feature. This right here is implemented now into the web app, so now you can pull back your outputs directly with the Manager app, and that's just a quick, efficient way to get your outputs back to your desktop. The Render Network browser is now built directly into Core, so now you can put a different panel of the Render Network directly into your DCC, the standalone DCC, and you can really have a nice integration to submit back to the render farm, the Render Network. AI models, there's now a bunch of different multimodal AI models available on the Render Network. Image to image, text to image, video to image, and video to video coming soon. Photon, Flux, Stable Diffusion, Dream Machine, and more to come. The new GenAI workflow it's very inclusively built, and that keeps getting better and better. So now with the tight integration, you can jump between model to model, image to text, and video, image to video, back and forth, which is really nice and convenient. So you have this flow state of jumping between generative AI images into video and back and forth without having to go to a different tab or a different subscription, etc. It's all offered within the same platform. The cost efficiency is really great because you pay for what you generate. You don't have to worry about jumping into a subscription model with Render. If you're going to use the AI tools and you just need 4 images, you just pay for the 4 images. And there's flexible options between the render credits or the render tokens. So it's very optimized for individual use or small studios or even at scale. We also have different features that are implemented that are not directly, as an extension of Render, but outside of Render, which Photopea is one of them. We have the Photopea creator here today who could also give us a few words about the software. It's an amazing photo editor.
Hello, my name is Ivan. I am the creator of Photopea. I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with it, so just in short, it's a web-based photo editor. I've been working on it for 13 years, and right now it's used by 1 million people a day, and last year we reached 1 billion files opened per year. So until recently, I had no idea that the guys have been using Photopea. I just learned about it. And actually, that was my idea since the beginning. I made the API, which is which can be quite useful. And I don't really know about everybody who's using the API. So that's it. I'm really glad that my product can be useful in this case, and thank you very much for inviting me.
Absolutely, thanks, Ethan. And what's great about that is it's a live bridge directly within your outputs within Render Network. So, like I said, with the Open API, you can jump directly into Photopea, edit your images directly after they're generated, and save out any files you need. So it's a great partnership for sure. And unification between all the other 3D renders and image generators creates this nice universal ecosystem. So whether or not you're using it for rendering, using it for GenAI, you can explore all the options together. So you could go and render 1,000 frames, and while they're waiting, you can go jump into the AI portion and start generating images and videos at the same time. So it's this really nice collaborative ecosystem between all the creative powers that be. It's pretty cool.
Awesome. And with that, we also have much of the product team here with us today. So wanted to open up the conversation to any questions and introduce Dino Muhik, the director of product, and tell me if I'm bungling your name, at Render and at Otoy to answer technical questions about what is coming, what's in development, and where things are going on Render. So I'll be running a mic if you guys have any questions.
Hi, everyone. Test. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hi, everyone. I just want to say, yeah, I really love the software. I've been using the AI rendering capabilities for the last few weeks. Very exciting stuff. Looking forward to all the new updates. I was wondering, is there going to be available the option of uploading a photo from your desktop and having a video made out of that? Because currently I feel like you can only create a photo while inside the render network, but you can't really upload stuff from your own. Is that going to be available in the future?
Actually, we enabled it just today.
Hey, gotta check it out.
But I have to check out if it first only is for
Get back to
beta
my
testers.
laptop.
Yeah, so usually what we do is we first test it with beta testers. And then once everything's looking good, then we probably publish it to everyone. But yeah, I just got a notification today that we enabled it. So
Fantastic. Yeah, I'm looking toward testing it out.
yeah, it won't take long, probably.
Awesome. Okay, great.
Hey, I've been doing beta testing for Blender rendering, and
Yeah, nice.
you guys have recently added the multi-layered EXR, which is awesome. My question is, what else are you like at this time? It's almost perfect for me, so I've been testing it for
Nice.
multiple projects, throwing everything at it, and it's just doing great. So what else are you guys adding to then bring it out of closed beta and then releasing it for the
Well, currently with Blender and Cycles, everyone can now use it on the network. So it's officially still beta, but everyone can access it. So just zipping your blend file, or we have a whole section. I think I'm not sure if it's already out by the from the marketing side, but the whole knowledge base about how you use Blender on the network should explain how you have to zip your project, how you collect your assets, and then you can now already everyone can upload the blend files and use it.
So it's not closed beta.
No, it's not closed beta anymore. So that's the first step, was to enabling it for everyone. And we have now Blender Cycles, and currently we're working on Blender Octane using the add-on version. So this is the next thing that will come from Blender, and then we'll see. Probably we can extend Blender even further. Not sure how many might be using it, for example, with other engines, Redshift or some others, or so that could be the next thing. We were also talking or thinking about Eevee, but the thing is with Eevee is simply that it doesn't really make sense, because with Eevee everything's running so fast that you're probably sending files around the world for just a fraction of a second of rendering time. So it's not really economically or even ethically correct to think to do that. So that's probably why we'll not do Eevee unless there's like a really huge amount of requests for it. But yeah, the next thing would be Blender Octane. It's currently in very closed alpha testing on our side, but we already have first versions, or actually scenes rendered using the network with it. And then next, we'll see what we can add to Blender. If you have any recommendations or requests, we of course can take those.
The only thing that I've noticed is that after a certain number in resolution, it kind of crashes. So that's the only thing that I've managed to throw at it, and it wouldn't. So I think 8K resolution is, because I was talking with Sony to do something for the 16K display for this for RenderCon, and I tested it, and I couldn't even do 8K, let alone 16K.
Well, what the thing is currently with Blender Octane, Blender and Cycles, we're limiting it only to maximum. I think is 4 GPUs right now per on the tier 2 network. On priority on the tier 3 economy network, it's just 1 GPU. So we could expand it further. I think Cycles can even support more GPUs, but then it also becomes a question of diminishing returns. How much you can go there. It's the same with Redshift. It performs really well with 1 or 2 GPUs, but then kind of the scale drops off pretty dramatically afterwards. While in Octane you can push it to, I think our networks currently have 14 GPUs max, which go above 20K Octane bench. But the thing about crashing, it obviously should not crash. So whatever is crashing, it's definitely trying to fix that. Thank you.
Hi, I'm starting to get more into doing different things like rendering and whatnot. But I was wondering what the learning curve would be for using software such as this. Is it pretty easy? I'm not trying to produce any Oscar-nominated films or anything like that soon, but just wondering, is it pretty simple for somebody to pick up that already has like a very deep technical background?
Well, if you're just talking about getting into 3D applications, then the learning curve is different in terms of which one you choose. Cinema 4D is considered very easy to use. Blender is the same. Then you have others like Maya, 3ds Max, but it really depends what you want to do actually. With Blender, you kind of do everything. Cinema is the same, and I think Cinema always was the kind of software where the learning curve was really, really low. So you can get easy by it. It's not like the difference would be Houdini, which is really hard to get used to. And then to jump from there to having your working in a 3D application to getting into the network is very low, because it currently even with Blender and Cinema 4D, you can zip your projects very easily. For Cinema 4D, we have the wizard, which means once you install Octane and the wizard that comes with it, or you can also install the wizard separately, it will check your scene for if it's compatible with the network, and then you just basically check it. It will tell you if there's anything that you have to take care of, and if not, it will just pack your scene into a zip file, and then you can just drag and drop it into the network on the website using the browser. So this is the most easiest way to do it. Then if you're using, for example, Octane Standalone, which is its own DCC basically, from there you have the option to just upload it from the standalone application itself to the network. And as long as you're already logged in through the browser to your account, it will just be uploaded, and you don't have to worry about anything. So basically the step from the 3D application to the network is really easy.
Awesome. Thank you.
Add on that front, like you should definitely play around with the image generation tools on the render network. The AI tools are just so easy to use, and they're so fun to use. Whether it's text to image prompts or image to video, and video to video. I think when we have that live will be a game changer. But you can try it out today at the Render Network. I think if you use the code AI Gen, you get some free credits, and it's so fun. There's like 10 different models, 10 different tools, and you can just cycle through them, all the different versions, and play around with outputs. And I think that's just a really low friction way to get started creatively.
Oh, one more here.
Oh, one more.
Like, do we have to own the or subscribe to the software like Blender to use it, or is it kind of like Photopea where it's part of the platform?
No, when it comes to Blender is free. So
Oh, right. Okay.
there's nothing, even no subscription or nothing for Blender. Just you install it, just start it, and that's it.
And it works like through the application itself, not like through the website.
In terms of Blender, we were thinking about creating a wizard too, like we have in Cinema 4D, which basically helps you getting your files correctly stored and saved and exported. That would make sense to have. I think this is also on the agenda. But for now, in the knowledge base, we have basically written guides how you can export for it. So basically what it does, it takes your blend file. Your blend file is basically your whole scene description, and then the assets. And then in a special way, you pack it together into a zip, upload it there, and then it basically just works.
Amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining today, and we hope this is just the first of many artist-focused talks here at RenderCon. You'll learn deep dives on the Tech House collaboration mentioned in this presentation, and have some amazing panels. So just kicking it off.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.